Mhm.
Okay, we're gonna talk about Christopher Dorner again.
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 Why not? It's a popular story.
It's worthy of discussion. I think that it bears some
It's
more
too
discussion.
suspicious. I don't care what any of you guys say. It's too suspicious. You could be a head sand barrier all you want. You can be. But you cannot deny in your heart of hearts and in your brain of brains that something stinks about this story.
I don't know what
Conspiracy theorist or
happened.
not.
I don't know what did happen, but I do know
How do
what
you not know
didn't
what?
happen.
Yeah, how do you know?
And what didn't happen is what they're telling us. Because first
Right.
of all, have you seen pictures of this cabin burnt to the ground? It's a pile of ashes. The only thing that survived is the stone fireplace, the chimney,
Stone.
the stones. There's nothing left. It is ashes. But somehow Dorner's wallet survives and
Right.
is in good enough condition that they can make an ID. They found his driver's license.
Miracle wallet.
But
It's
wait a minute.
Invincible.
Wait a minute. Let's assume this is some kind of magical Kevlar wallet. How did it end up in this cabin in
Kevlar's
Big Bear?
not fireproof.
Whatever. I don't know my high-tech fireproof gear. Whatever it is. How is this wallet in a cabin in Big Bear next to his burned body when, wait a minute, Thursday, February 7th, they said that they found it in San Diego. The San Diego Police Department said that a man turned it in 5 miles from some boat that Dorner supposedly tried to steal unsuccessfully.
But then someone else also found a wallet and ID of his down by the Mexican border somewhere, like, I don't remember the name of some Mexican town, very Southern California-ish town. So that's two other incidents in which his ID and wallet were supposed to have been found, but now they've miraculously survived a fire, which his body wasn't even identifiable from.
The structure, the cabin,
and the
didn't
cabin,
even survive.
It doesn't even exist. It's a wasteland now where that cabin used to be.
How many wallets and driver's licenses do you have?
This one.
I have one.
One.
Typical.
I don't typically keep 3 copies of it around for my fugitive standoff times.
I sure don't leave it like a trail of freaking breadcrumbs when I'm on the lam.
Now we have to talk about. Okay, so that's one aspect of this. With this, we can't fit everything into one video that we wanted to talk about. There's no way that we could do it and hold everyone's attention. But there's a few more things that are probably worth covering really quick. And you can turn the video off. You can be a head sand barrier, as I like to call them, all you want. The facts remain. These are mainstream news articles that we are talking about here. You can find all this. We'll put it in the links in the description.
MSN,
you can read all this stuff for yourself.
We're not talking about some dark little shady conspiracy corner of the internet. This is not where this information is coming from. This is the information that they're telling us, and it doesn't make sense. They are contradicting themselves left and right.
There is now audio of police officers, recorded audio of their conversations in which they are seemingly purposefully starting the fire. That they knew that the fire was going to start. They wanted the fire to start. They call the canisters that they use burners, even though it's supposed to be a tear gas canister. And it is. It's a tear gas canister. I've seen tear gas canisters. I've experienced myself tear gas canisters. They burn. They can burn. These dudes knew that they were going to burn that cabin down. And it's very evident in the audio that you can listen to.
Audio recorded off law enforcement radios. I'm going to read some of the quotes here. This is verbatim. You can find these videos on YouTube yourself. 7 burners deployed and we have a fire. Copy. 7 burners deployed and we have a fire. Okay, we're going to go forward with the plan, with the burn, like we talked about. Further down the line, we have fire in the front. He might come out the back. Fire doing quite well. I'm going to let it go, a law enforcement officer says.
The dude was supposed to die from the beginning.
They didn't want him to survive.
I could make up a story. I could make up any story. But I know that the story that they're telling us is every bit as made up.
The couple...
It's not the truth.
The couple who owns the cabin that he was found in, he had been holed up there, we don't know for how long, but they went to tidy up this cabin for some renters that were going to come. And they walk in and Dorner's there. They said that he tied them up, and this is the man's quote. He said 4 or 5 times that he didn't have a problem with us. He just wanted to clear his name. He said, I don't have a problem with you, so I'm not going to hurt you. And he didn't. He tied them up, he stole their car, and he left. This is also the same guy. If he's just on some shooting spree and he doesn't care who gets in his way. This is the same guy who allegedly tried to steal a boat in a marina in San Diego, tied up an 81-year-old man. For whatever reason, he couldn't steal the boat. He left the man there unharmed. There was another guy. Let me see if I can find this story really quickly. I probably won't. This is another man who was in Big Bear. This is a different car that he allegedly hijacked. He tells this man who was in his truck with his dog. He says, "I don't want to hurt you. Start walking and take your dog." So he did. The man exited his vehicle, took his dog, went about his way. Dorner took off. He was trying to clear his name, he says. Now, again, I'm not saying that he did or didn't do the crimes that he's been accused of, but we'll never know.
It's too suspicious. We've seen this happen before. We'll probably see it happen again. Every now and then, something somewhere needs a fall guy or a bad guy to be hunted so that we all kind of buy into some, thoughts about the guy in the end.
Trial by
It's
media.
not a real story. What you're seeing mostly is not the truth. It's a cooked up, fabricated version that someone has issued to police and news agencies and said, here's the information that you should be letting out, and the rest of this stuff stays behind. The problem is with mainstream media, they don't know and they can't seem to predict that the internet dorks are going to find this stuff. In this day and age, it becomes terrible to hide. It becomes impossible to hide.